Welcome to today's video. If your bank account is negative and you're waiting on a new job to start, this guide will walk you step by step through the next 30 days so you can stabilize your cash flow, protect essential services, and avoid costly mistakes. We'll break down the difference between urgent, short-term problems and long-term debts, and we'll show you how to negotiate, find emergency assistance, and use interim income streams to bridge the gap until your first paycheck arrives. Here's our agenda. First, we'll clarify the difference between immediate crisis and long-term debt. Next, we'll work through 4 phases: stopping the overdraft spiral, protecting utilities, generating interim income, and understanding where bankruptcy fits. Then, we'll point you to community resources and finish with a practical checklist and 2 quick quizzes. This content is educational only and does not constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. Your situation may be different depending on your state, bank policies, and utility providers. Always confirm details with a qualified professional, and consider speaking with a nonprofit credit counselor. If you are facing housing or safety risks, contact local services or 211 right away. If your account is negative and overdraft fees are accruing, it's normal to feel panicked. However, your confirmed start date is a crucial asset. We'll build a 30-day bridge plan to get from today to your first paycheck while keeping essential services active. Separate your debts into 2 buckets. The immediate crisis bucket includes overdrafts, utilities, phone, internet, and transportation. These affect daily functioning and job stability. The long-term debt bucket includes credit cards, medical bills, and student loans. These matter, but they do not usually determine whether you can work next week. Prioritize the immediate crisis first to stop financial bleeding. Begin by calling your bank and asking for fee reversals, courtesy waivers, and a temporary overdraft disable. Next, aim to bring your account positive immediately, even by a small amount, to stop daily fees. Pause or cancel automatic payments to prevent new overdrafts. Contact 211 community centers and faith-based organizations for emergency funds that can arrive faster than bank products. Consider selling unused items or collecting small amounts owed to you. Finally, check your balance daily until your first paycheck arrives and track every transaction. This flowchart shows how to move from a negative balance to stability. You start by calling the bank to request fee reversals and disable overdraft. Then you determine whether you can get positive today. If yes, you pause autopays, call utilities to set hardship plans, and pursue interim income. If no, you seek emergency funds from 211 and community aid, deposit any available cash, and retest. You can also sell items or take local gigs to feed deposits. The process ends when your first paycheck arrives and the 30-day plan completes. Call utility and service providers immediately, because phone and internet are critical for job onboarding. Use a concise script that references your confirmed start date and proposes a small payment with a hardship plan. Ask about extensions, split payments, or temporary reduced plans, and request late fee waivers. Get written confirmation of any agreement and save names, call times, and reference numbers. Prioritize keeping your checking account positive first, then phone and internet, followed by power or water as necessary for work and safety. This sequence diagram illustrates a typical hardship negotiation call. The person states their job start date and hardship, asks for an extension or reduced plan. The representative proposes options, the person confirms the amounts and due dates, and a written confirmation is sent. The caller records the reference number before ending the call. The key elements are politeness, specificity, and obtaining written proof. Comparing options. A hardship plan keeps services active with small, predictable payments and may waive late fees, which supports employment stability. In contrast, a shutoff causes reconnection fees, missed communications, possible job delays or loss, and potential credit or reporting issues. Therefore, a hardship plan is typically far more advantageous during a 30-day survival period. For interim income, focus on local services with immediate or next-day payment, such as yard work, moving help, pet care, tutoring, and errands. Use your community network to find quick opportunities. Use food pantries or community meal programs to redirect cash toward utilities and restoring your account. Be cautious with small advances. Read terms carefully and avoid predatory rates. Track each dollar and allocate it to account stabilization, utilities, or transportation. This table lists fast, low-barrier income options that typically pay the same day or the next day. The focus is on local networks and simple services. Price clearly. Aim for small jobs you can complete quickly, and document results to encourage repeat business. This timeline maps the first month. In the first 2 days, contact your bank, disable overdraft, make a small deposit, and pause auto-pays. In days 1 to 3, negotiate with utilities and get written confirmations. In days 2 to 10, focus on interim income and leverage food support. Around week 2, reassess balances and adjust payments. In days 14 to 30, maintain utilities, continue microjobs, and prepare for your first paycheck. Schedule a debt review with a nonprofit counselor as you exit crisis mode. Use 211 to locate assistance programs for utilities, rent, and emergency bills. Many faith-based organizations also have small emergency funds with fast turnaround. Ask local nonprofits about utility grants, transportation vouchers, and food pantry schedules. When requesting help, keep the message simple and reference your job start date. Bankruptcy does not solve a short-term utility or overdraft crisis and is generally designed for large, unsecured debts. Over the next 30 days, prioritize cash flow over paperwork. After stabilizing, consult a nonprofit credit counselor to evaluate total debts and determine whether bankruptcy or another strategy is appropriate. Seek counselors affiliated with reputable organizations such as NFCC or FCAA. They typically offer free or low-cost budget reviews, assess unsecured debts, and discuss options like debt management plans or settlements. Schedule this consultation after you complete the first 3 phases and your services are stable. This pie chart illustrates a survival-first budget for the next 30 days. Allocate roughly 20% to building a small checking cushion, 20% to phone and internet, 15% to power and water, 20% to transportation, 15% to food with pantry support, and 10% to minimum debt payments or a small buffer. Adjust these percentages to your local costs and priorities. Use this checklist to guide your first month. In the first 48 hours, call the bank, request fee reversals, disable overdraft, make a small deposit, pause autopays, and set hardship plans with utilities. Contact 211 and local aid for emergency assistance. In weeks 1 and 2, check your balance daily, complete several small gigs, and use pantry resources to free cash for utilities. In weeks 3 and 4, maintain services and transportation, prepare for your first paycheck, and schedule a nonprofit credit counseling review. Quiz time. The question is, what should be prioritized first when your account is negative and fees are accruing? The options are A. Make an extra payment on your credit card. B. Call utilities next week. C. Bring your checking account positive and stop overdraft fees. Or D. Apply for bankruptcy immediately. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Bringing your checking account positive and stopping overdraft fees is the top priority because daily fees rapidly consume available cash. Once stabilized, you can move on to negotiating utilities and planning for longer-term debts. Second quiz. You owe $300 on utilities and start a job in 2 weeks. What is the best next move? A. File Chapter 7 now. B. Call the provider today to set a hardship plan and make a small payment. C. Ignore it until the first paycheck. Or D. Take any loan offered regardless of interest. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Contact the provider immediately to arrange a hardship plan and make a small payment. This keeps service active and avoids shutoff and reconnection fees. Bankruptcy is not appropriate for this short-term amount, and ignoring the bill increases risk. Key points. Address overdrafts and utilities as immediate crisis items. Call your bank first, utilities second, and pursue interim income third. Use 211 and community resources to bridge gaps. Bankruptcy is a long-term tool and not designed for a short-term utility crisis. Protect your access to your new job because it is your primary asset. In summary, stop the financial bleeding by reversing fees, disabling overdraft, and getting your account positive. Next, secure your utilities through hardship plans and written confirmations. Then, generate cash through local gigs and use pantry support to protect your budget. Finally, follow the 30-day timeline and schedule a credit counselor review after stabilizing. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Share your situation or progress in the comments so others can learn and support you. Building a community safety net starts with conversations like these.